birds are singing, skies are blue. The world's awake, it's time for you. Start it right, you know it's true. Anson in the morning.
Good morning. It is time for Anson in the morning. I'm here, you're there. Let's do this thing. So I didn't make it last week. Had a lot going on. Like I had just so much shit going on last week. It wasn't going to happen. I've got the end of school coming up for the kiddos. We're trying to figure out if we're going to do anything for spring break. And I don't know that we're going to do something this year. In fact, I'd really like to spend the summer just getting my house back in order, getting some repairs done. And if I've got 3 kids to help me that are all teenagers now, then it's going to go really shitty. I'm kidding. They're good kids. But the last thing that they want to do is spend their summer helping their old man fix up around the house. They're going to do it because they want money. And if you want money, that's how you're going to get money, is by helping me around the house, right? So as we come to the close of the school year, as you guys know, my daughter with the leg thing still. So that's going on. My boys have taken up a new hobby, fishing. I took them, a year ago, and they got bit by the, no pun intended, but they got bit by the bug. So now all they want to do is fish. They're learning all kinds of fucking rigs and jigs and you name it, they're into it. And I love it. So if they want to earn some money this summer so that they can go ahead and keep doing that, they're going to have to help their old man around the house. That includes some painting. We've got some stuff to fix in the kitchen. We're going to go out to the garage. I mean, it's a whole thing. That being said, couldn't make it last week. Just the daughter's doctor's appointment. And I'll tell you the truth, guys, I haven't really even been playing games that much. Like, I haven't had time. You know, we didn't do Fat and Spicy. We didn't do PNS After Dark last week. We were just too busy going, you know, everybody was just slammed because that's how it is this time of year, you know. It right as you start the summertime, it all blows up. And that's fine. That's fine. But I'm here now. I'm here, you're there, and we're doing it. So today's episode, I was racking my brain trying to think about what the hell we're going to talk about aside from, you know, what we're going to do this summer. First and foremost, I got to get a haircut. My hair is just all shaggy again. I'm starting to get the fucking wings on the side. It's awful. So I'm going to get that done. I shaved up a little bit. Just trying to clean up. If you guys remember the last Anson in the morning, I think it was, I was really shaggy and scruffy. But that doesn't do anybody any good, does it? You know, it's like they said, if you want to change the world, first thing you do in the morning, make your bed. It's something that you've accomplished to help make the world a better place, to make your world a better place, and it fixes you up. So quite literally, if you want to take over the world, start by making your bed. It's a fact. Anyway, let's get up. We're off the wrong topic here. Respect. That's what we're talking about today. You know, I love my kids dearly. I love my wife with all my heart. She's a great woman. She takes care of us. She works very hard at what she does. They just don't have any respect for people's time. You know, my wife has to be to work at 7 in the morning. And, you know, I get up at 6:15 to make sure the kids are up and ready to go to school. And even at that, you know, I wake my daughter up. She doesn't have to be out of the house till 7. I wake her up at 6:15. Then I got to go back at 6:30 and 6:40 and 6:50. Jesus Christ. At 7:01, she's walking out the door. What's even worse is my wife's got to be to work at 7. I got to take them. And I take my wife to work, then I take my daughter to school, then I come home, do what I got to do here. My wife don't get out the door until 7:10. I thought you're supposed to be to work at 7, and it's a 15-minute drive, so you're not getting there till 7:25. And then what do I see? I see every other person who's supposed to be there at 7 pulling in at the same goddamn time. So am I wrong? Like, am I up my own ass about the time and how long it takes to get to work and what time you should be out the door? Because I've always been trained to you got to respect people's time. You know, and that includes my time too, because, you know, I got to get up in the morning. I got to make sure everybody's off to school. I got to set up for Anson in the morning. I've still got to, you know, make sure that I'm showered and cleaned up and that the studio's set up, the lighting's good. You know, it's a whole thing. Write down some notes, you know, so I've got something to refer to so I don't stand like a yammer and asshole, you know. But respecting people's time, you know, when I have a job, and my bosses would give me shit for it because I'd be there 15 minutes early. If I'm supposed to be there at 9, I'm there at 8:45. There's no chance I'm going to be late. I take account for traffic. I take account for maybe the shower water's cold. I need to let it warm up. Maybe the coffee maker's screwed up. Maybe the cat needs, you know, I tripped over the cat. Who knows? But I make time to allow for that. most people don't. And I'm learning more and more. Like if somebody says, hey man, I'll meet you at the bar at 2. Okay, let's meet at 2. I'm there at 1:50. And they walk in at 2:25. That's not how this is supposed to fucking work. Not at all. And it burns me because I make the plans to get there. You know, if my kid's got a doctor's appointment 2.5 hours away, I make sure that we'll be there a half hour early. Why? It accounts for traffic. Where we live, we have shit roads. You know, we have 199 going out of here, and we have 199 going south the other way. If one of those is closed, we're fucked up. And yeah, maybe I am autistic when it comes to that stuff. I get it. But I was raised in a household where my parents, they made me respect other people's time while they didn't. And I know that's hard to understand, but if it was something that other people wanted, it was cool to be fashionably late. I don't understand that one either. But if it was something for me, you know, I had to be on time, you know, because it had to make them look good that I was on time. And I get that, you know, but still, it always felt disrespectful. Now, on the other hand, respecting people's work. This is another thing. Look, the fact of the matter remains that they don't respect the house. You know, my kids are playing a video game over there, and they've got their cups with you know, water in it. And I wake up in the morning, and the cups are still there. The bowl of snacks is still there. Now, I get their kids, but you know, before I go to bed at night, I make sure that my desk is clean. I make sure I didn't leave any snacks here because the dog will get on my chair and munch and then ruin everything else I've got up here, you know, or the cat or something. So, you know, I make sure I respect my area. I respect my house and I respect my space. I make sure that everything's taken. You know, if you're going to do anything in this world, do it with a touch of class. And that's not for yourself. That's to respect the people around you. Because the people around you want to know that they're feeling respected. You know, respect them by you know, putting on some deodorant, maybe a quick spritz of stinkum, you know, a little cologne or something. But you know, you got to be respectful. You know, if people are in a bar and they're having a quiet conversation, and then all of a sudden good old Harry walks in, hey, everybody, nobody wants to fucking hear you, man. Can't you respect the room around you? Why do you have to be the center of fucking attention? Everybody here is getting along. Everything's going good, and you can't respect the fucking conversation. Now, I said I haven't been playing a lot of video games recently. I was playing one the other night because I had some free time, just a little bit. And you know, it happens there too. People are standing around talking, and then all of a sudden that one ass comes in and fucks up the table for everybody. I play this virtual reality poker game, and we were sitting. It was a nice, quiet table. Everybody was chilling. You know, the pots were going back and forth. A couple of wisecracks, good conversation, and then this one guy comes in, and he's just got to be the center of attention. We all left, and I didn't see those people again. Just ruined it for everybody because of a lack of respect. Respect people's time. Respect people's space. That's another thing. You know, one thing I hate is if I'm somewhere and somebody walks up behind me and does the hands on the shoulder thing. How you doing, man? It's like, you know, you could have just said hi instead of scaring the living crap out of me before I know who the fuck you are. You know, it's just little things that people don't think about. Dress nice. Nobody wants to look at your shitty shoes. Nobody wants to see your stained pants or your ugly ass shirt. This isn't the greatest shirt I own, but you know what I'm saying. It's just little things that make life go better. Respect. And it's respect for, like I said, other people's work. If I'm busting my ass at my job and you see that I'm sweating and I'm working hard and I'm doing the best I can, instead of coming in and criticizing, how about you first thank me for the work I am doing? How about you thank me for being there every fucking morning on time before the clock starts? You know what I mean? It's just, I used to get into the last job I had, and I wasn't supposed to be there till 9:30. Well, I wasn't supposed to be there till 10, but there was no way you could legitimately do that job So I came in, I clocked in a half hour early. Fine, they gave me okay for that. But then I saw I needed a little bit more time. And after the argument that we had about, me starting at 9:30 versus 10, I just started coming at 9:15 and working and then not clocking in until I had to, just to make the job work. And you know what? Not one time was there a, hey man, I saw that you were working off the clock a little bit just to kind of get our shit going because, we're starting up this business and we appreciate you need to change that. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with that. How about just one time a thank you? The last boss I had there, Christmas time would come around. And we each got a nice Christmas card, and there was 20, $50 in there. But it was sweet. It was the greatest gesture because what they're saying is thank you. They throw us a Christmas party. These new bosses over there, that was one of the reasons I left. No respect. Not even a card, not even an empty card. Not even a card with a beer chip in it, for a free beer. It was just always disrespecting everybody else because, I don't know, you didn't know what you were doing and you felt insecure. Yeah, I shouldn't be talking like this. I always said I'd never talk about this on the show, but fuck it. You know what? Because it's all about respect. And I gave my bosses the respect to shut the fuck up about it. But I'm not respecting myself, am I? I get on Mott's for it, and then what do? Okay, you got it. No problem. Not standing up for myself, not respecting myself, but I respected my job. I respected the place I worked. I respected my customers. And I respected my kitchen. So I guess what I'm saying, guys, is if you guys get to that point in your life where you're not getting the respect, maybe stand up for yourselves and respect yourself. Because if you're not going to stand up and respect yourself, nobody else is going to fucking respect you. I'm learning that. So, guys, I know it's another short episode. I'm not doing these long. Like I said, a couple minutes on Mondays just to kind of spout what I'm about. I do have to do the thing. Please, guys, give me a comment in the comments. Give me a like. Share this with your friends if you think I'm halfway entertaining. Just get Anson in the morning out there, and the shows will become longer because I'll have an obligation to be better. I don't know. I don't mean that. But, guys, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week. Hey, respect yourself.